Good morning, Mike. You guys hear me?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Okay. So I mainly want to focus on the one pull request we have on GPU. I don't think Kari is going to attend. Um, so just quickly on the pass downs, we've had a number of. Just open this. Sure, the entire screen helps much better. Okay, so this is the pass downs. So I've broken it up into presentations that are actually made to the SC. There's been three, which are listed there. And then now you can actually bypass the SC if you haven't got time and you can't find a agenda slot. You can just submit it and have the review done by the SC. And so there are two of those documents in flight. If you guys need access, I can provide you access to public once they get submitted. One is on FishOS and one's on polymorphic architecture definition from the software hardware co-design team. It's been lingering for quite a while. And I had them actually go push it out as opposed to letting it sit there. Okay, back to agenda. Okay, so I want to focus on the two pull requests I have. So let me go look at. Okay, so there are basically two new pull requests. One is uh, from Jeff Helen, who released a base profile for the NIC. I have an issue with just calling it base. I would just call it the Ethernet NIC profile, having it attached to the server profile. But
Yeah, the
that's
pull is base and the actual profile just says Ethernet NIC and subdirectory.
oh good. Okay, good. Oh, thanks, Jeff. So Jeff, do you want to talk to that?
I mean, I tell you how I created it. I took
Okay.
our two NICs from two different vendors that appear through ILO and genericized them and then got a profile that actually works against them both. Now, where they were different and where there were things that we wanted or that we put in ourselves, I made those recommended, but there's no reason everybody's NIC shouldn't be able to pass them, I would hope. The reason there's so many files changed is I included the mockups so that you can run the profile, the interop validator as well as the doc generator against them, which is kind of how I was doing all this. The one thing, and you'll see two questions, that I have brought up to the Redfish forum is, gee, what about network interfaces versus Ethernet interface? So neither one of them are in this profile. And I guess that's kind of the big one is should Ethernet network interfaces be here? Should Ethernet interfaces be here? I'm happy to add them later. All the files in here are sufficient to generate, the docs from. So, and then I took actual examples from these mockups, stripped down, and threw them into the mockup file for the doc generator. And I went ahead and uploaded the doc generator file too.
Okay.
Just to save people the problem.
Oh, and there's a markdown too.
So there's OCP NIC profile markdown. That's from the doc generator. Those NIC profile intro and postscript are needed by the doc generator. You guys know this. OCP NIC is the actual profile. If you collapse that mockups directory, and then that mockups directory took a mockup from every device so that the doc generator could pull a relevant mockup instead of the one from the generic ones. And then everything else is just the mockup. So you can host a emulator and the Redfish server, emulator server, mockup server, whatever it's called. Do all this yourself. The only thing I didn't include was the 3 batch files I used to do all this. So I figure some of you I didn't want to try and create a dual version Linux Windows batch file.
Okay. And so the only thing I don't see is a usage document.
There is
Correct.
that MD file, OCP profile.md.
Well, it's not really what Redfish, click on it, click on the load diff there down below.
Yeah. No, the other one above it. Yep.
Yeah, that's the one. And then hit the rich diff view of it.
Okay, this is the auto-generated one.
That's the auto-generated one. I didn't do the OCP one. I figured I'd do that after folks
Okay,
poked
no,
this.
I was just wondering what it was, and if it's being done afterwards, that's fine.
Yeah, I would rather us poke at the profile before I go generate a doc based on it.
Yeah, I agree. Given the audience here, I think looking at the profile is a better starting point.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but when we take it outside, it's better to have a usage document.
Yes.
Yep. And
Okay.
when we're ready, I'll make it.
So one thing I've asked Mike to do is actually take the baseline and the Redfish service and run it in the Redfish interop lab. So we know it's been run and it works. I have no problem go ahead and merging this because then it'll become public and people don't have to go wander down to a pull request to go look at this. And then once that's complete, we can bring it back to we can prove it as a full branch and then bring it to the hardware management project to approve. So can we get this added to the list?
Yeah, but I also wonder how the thing that concerns me is this is very focused on network adapter, network device function, and I don't know if we have NICs installed in any of our systems that expose those resources.
And that was kind of the other reason I didn't do Ethernet interface was, do we need a separate profile for that this one would include?
I don't, maybe, I mean, I think Ethernet interface might be small enough that it's just part of the server profile. It's part of the baseline Redfish service profile.
I specifically need it to not be.
Really?
Yeah. And the reason is I don't want, if I'm looking at a vendor community,
Hmm.
And my goal is to get UEC to adopt this.
Hmm.
So if we can do that, they don't care about any of the redfish service crap.
Hmm. Okay. I could buy that, and then we could potentially just say, the Redfish baseline uses the Ethernet interface profile for
Yes.
and then we
Yes.
think for servers, and we can grow those ones as needed potentially.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't, so the one for manager is just fine. I didn't include URIs in here, so that's another, if you want to start beating up on the
Yeah.
profile.
I guess the other thing I want to make sure we cover is this assumes that every network adapter installed in the service is an Ethernet NIC. There doesn't seem to
Yes.
be any branch out case of, hey, I have a system with a mixed config. It's going to fail this profile because of that. So we might need to make use of the use case term to isolate testing.
I,
Mhm.
yeah, I don't know. I know it'll validate the Ethernet ones that are capable of being Ethernet. I didn't validate it against a system that has an ACD model that's only IB or fiber channel.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking even if that system has an Ethernet NIC in there, if it's mixed with other NICs of other types, it will still fail. Because this will test every adapter,
Right
not
now,
just
it only tests the network adapters, network device functions, and PCI device.
well, yes,
I
but
didn't go through and do the URIs on them.
well, it's not even about URIs because Fiber Channel, InfiniBand, they all leverage the same data model, so they'll
Yeah,
have the
yeah, yeah.
URI patterns, but InfiniBand won't have the Ethernet object, but this profile requires it.
Correct. And
So
that's another reason to keep it separate. You don't want to. I see. If it's mixed in with a system, those would fail.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Fine.
Um, all right, so you really want this standalone just to test Ethernet
Mhm.
NICs.
Yep.
And so what is the test fixture going to look like when you run this profile?
I
So
don't understand the word test fixture.
well, I mean, you will need a Redfish service that
Yes.
shows these resources.
Yes. And hopefully the human looking at the failures would realize, well, that's IB and that's fiber channel. I don't care.
Okay, so you're expecting that someone who is going to be testing their devices against this profile, they're going to ensure that they don't have a mixed config effectively. So they'll build up a server, maybe a server, maybe some other type of box that has some NICs thrown in there. And they're going to say, I am specifically testing Ethernet NICs, therefore to run this profile, and therefore I will guarantee that the test fixture will not have any mixed configs or this and that.
If there is a way, and maybe we need to take this to the Redfish forum, to exclude.
There is a way to do that with use cases and conditional requirements. So
Okay.
you could say key off of like network. I forget the name of the
Network
property.
device function type or something like that.
Yeah, and you could
It's
key off of
it's in there.
Ethernet and say, hey, if I key off of this and it says Ethernet, I have all these Ethernet test cases to run. Otherwise, who cares?
Yeah, and
I think with all
if you
this,
want
with these
to help me
proliferation,
improve the profile, I am more than happy to.
Okay.
yeah, well, I think also with the proliferation of types of profiles that we're having, that we're gonna have to have some document, whether the usage document, or we test this thing, right? Can I have other
Mhm.
nicks in there, and will the profile still pass because it's been built to be robust
Well,
enough,
I
or
I like Mike's use case method because that way, because I'd love to see somebody do an IB profile and a fiber channel profile. And so if we key off and it's
I
not,
think that it's a great mechanism, right? But
yeah,
for someone who's just take pull this profile off, right? And he needs to understand what his unit under test needs to look like. That it can only have this type of nick. It can't have any other nicks, or this particular profile will blow up because it doesn't have use cases in there yet. And right, because you don't want people to run it and then fail and then have to go dig through it when you could have told them it only tests this type of nicks. If it runs it or anything else, or if you have a heterogeneous network, it's not going to run. You have to pull those ports out. I just want their first experience to say, hey, you told me this is the type of test fixture or unit under test I have to have. I ran it, it passed. I'm happy.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I would rather have it programmatically exclude other network adapter types.
Oh yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
you could write modified document, say, hey, your unit under test can have anything you want to. We'll just well, this thing will pick out the ones that it will test, and that's what it will test. Right. So okay. So
Yes.
with that, do we want to go? Do we want to run this thing first and then merge it, or
I mean, I don't think we really have anything to run against other than mockups.
okay?
I do have some questions. So repository, I see it's being used pretty consistently to point back to DMTF's the schemas folder.
Yes.
That repository link is supposed to be the profile repository, I thought. And so I don't think we would point to that site, and I don't know if we really need to have a repository to point to right now.
Well, that's how the build works, though, isn't it? How else does it generate the doc?
I don't know. Jeff, was there
Yeah,
some
I
magic
think
in
I
the
think you need that to generate the
repository?
yeah,
So which repository are you talking about? Is
So
it
go
the
to
in?
schema repo.
go to the profile. Like each of the resources has a repository keyword. Nope, up. Click on
This?
OCP Nick.
OCP NIC 100
Nope, above it.
Jason.
Above it. Nope, below that. Yep, there.
Thank you.
Low diff. Low diff. Yeah, go to any of the resources. Except network adapter. You're jumping around way too much.
Yeah,
Click on
go back to the you're going
Yeah,
through
you're in
all
the
the
model.
files, dude.
Go back to OCP Nick.
Oh.
Oh, jeez.
Keep going up.
Well, no, he has to go down now.
Oh, does he?
So yeah, he's in the profile doc.
Okay.
Okay. Scroll down just a little bit more, a little bit more. Keep going. No, it's not in that one either.
I didn't think I put it in there.
No, not in all of them. Like network device function metrics, it's there. Port metrics, it's there.
Oh, I should just do a commit and get rid of them.
Okay.
Show
So
me
they
more.
shouldn't be here even if
device
they.
here. Or
Hang on.
I don't see any.
Yeah, it starts with network adapter metrics is where I see
It's
it.
probably in the metrics ones, and that
Bottom of this file?
I copied that one from
There, stop.
Ah,
Up.
go up.
there.
Repository. I shouldn't have those in there.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Do we really need min version as well? Because I know I was chatting with Jeff about this, and if we have all the property requirements, does the version really matter?
No.
Okay.
Let me
What
get
else?
here. I want to make these changes while we're talking about them.
Okay.
That one. That one. That one. Oh, I had one in registries too. Min version.
So are we removing min version?
Yeah, it's not really needed
There's
because
one up in protocol. I want to keep
so
that one.
yeah, that's okay because at least showing 1.6 means that you guarantee the URI patterns in Redfish. That's really the only key one that we care about this time for protocol, but
Yeah, well,
that's
and
fine.
that's Yeah, and that's Redfish, that's protocol version, not schema version.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I really don't care about the schema versions.
Yeah, yeah. As Mike and I were talking, it's like that's kind of almost a vestige now. It's like I put that in the spec because as a intending trying to be a shortcut of the hey, you got to be at network adapter metrics 1.4 to even get before you'll pass this. But the properties will you'll fail the properties anyway. So does that information really help? And then it's just something else to keep in sync. So it yeah, I agree with Mike. With we may even think about should we just deprecate that functionality because it the property requirements will take care of that for you.
I guess one of the other things I'm noticing is there are some resources where you specify Redfish settings.
Yeah, because you got to have it or you can't set it.
For what though?
I mean, settings is how you make changes to network adapters. I want to see
I
the
guess it
property
depends
in there.
on what settings you're talking about, because I know network adapters where you can change things on the fly, like change the link settings or the turn off auto negotiation. I think the only one that I think might require settings is the MAC address, if that's even going to be user programmable on some devices. It's and unfortunately, and it's the problem I have with settings in general is it's at this level it's so open-ended it doesn't really convey what to expect for the settings.
And I really didn't do that either.
Yeah.
I kind of had, well, you got to have the settings object.
Yeah, it's
Will the profile allow you to do that?
technically yes, because the profile is pretty open-ended in terms of what you can list as properties, and yeah, you can list.
So like network adapter, if you're going to go changing the functions, I want to add a function or God,
Changing
what was the other one?
I know probably changing like the mode of operation, like if you're
Yeah.
yeah, that those I could see as needing settings, but I think by itself here showing Redfish settings is confusing, and I don't know how to solve that problem of, hey, I need to make sure that we have settings to control these types of properties. It's
Yeah, I'd like to add the properties in there.
yeah, I don't know how to do that with the current profile structure.
Well, it's like anything else. You got to so scroll to find one that's in anything. Port's probably the smallest one.
I guess the issue is how, from a property, when you have it at the property level, how do you tie that back to a settings? Right now,
Well, I'll show you. You find one right there, port. Scroll down just a little bit. There you go. Stop. All right. See how property requirements OData ID is required?
Mhm.
You just add another property and make it a write requirement.
Well, it wouldn't be OData ID.
No. You'd use a different property, but you're right. There's the
But
property requirements section.
oh, you're thinking basically expanding.
Yeah.
Oh,
95 through 97 would have more properties in it.
oh, interesting. I
Just
don't think
it works. I
Property
just stripped them
within
all
the
out.
setting object.
It's,
Right?
yeah, it's within the settings object. It won't be in the settings resource, but
Oh, it won't, will it?
no.
correct.
Shit. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah,
You're right. You're right. I don't know how to do that.
I almost think that we might need to propose adding an extension to the profile that tag properties as saying, hey, this can be controlled through settings.
Okay. So right now we can't do anything more than this.
No. And actually, where you have Redfish settings on port is wrong. It needs to be inside of property requirements.
Oh shit.
Yeah, we have to think about this further. I get what you're trying to do, and it makes sense as long as we try to guide folks as far as what's expected in those settings.
Got it right on network adapter.
No, you don't. That's not inside property requirements either.
But it is.
No, I'm looking at it right now. It's
it's
right.
not.
It's sandwich between min version and action requirements.
I screwed them all up then. Oh, I don't know if it works.
Okay.
All right, I will fix them and then rerun it. Make sure it works.
And a public safety notice or public service announcement. The online JSON schema validators will work with the profile schema, so you can throw those in there and see if it validates. That would catch things like that redfish settings on line 89. It would catch that error, for instance.
Why didn't any of the other tools catch it?
Which tools?
The interop validator. I guess it
It's
doesn't
not
validate your
it doesn't
profile.
validate this profile. Yeah, it doesn't validate your profile.
There is an option in the validator to test the profile against the schema of the profile, but by default it will just
Oh, that's right.
if you have extra properties, it'll ignore them.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So what do we want to do with this now? Jeff, you want to go ahead and fix it, and we'll.
Yep.
I'm not sure I want to wait a month for this, but if we'll wait a month,
I'm finishing right now. So if you've got another profile to discuss,
okay, good.
as soon as I validate what I got works.
Okay, so in that case, I'll go back and go to. So the other pull request is the GPU profile. So this is just a direct contribution from Hari to update the 0.9, and I think they've already made their submittal into OCP and presented to hardware management project. So this is on his way out. He needs it for OCP Summit because he wants to reference it. So we can look through it. I think like most of our comments to that worksheet, it will be lightly assessed.
Yeah, I'm still having real issues with the usage of computer system in this profile. It's, I mean, I get the fact that they're going to 1.0, but I can't really support this, but I understand the need to approve it.
Right. So yeah. So I mean, with OCP, we've changed the nomenclature. I think Jeff and I, Jeff Harder and I, and Hemel is that we accept it. You don't necessarily approve it. It's a contribution. It's gone through all the right processes. It's accepted. That's separate than we approve it with, which I've convinced OCP staff and those of them that approval means a whole lot to us people, and we can't just approve things. So we say we accept it, and we move it along, and that's what we do in OCP. Okay. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and merge this into release. I think.
Merge with discontent.
With extreme prejudice.
Oh. Well, 1.1 better come out soon.
Yeah, that's and that's up to us. So I assume what we do is we file issues against this and let them figure out whether they want to deal with it or not, and we go off and do 1.1 or 2.0. Okay. With that, I'm done with the remaining pull requests. So how are you doing, Jeff?
I'm real close. So it turns out you need the repository in the registries.
Probably. Oh, that's interesting.
I'm just saying. That one slowed me down a little.
Whoa, what's giving you? 'Cause I've not really played with the registries block. What's giving you an issue with the repository?
It's saying error in line of main, doc generator, import output config,
Oh, probably because
trace.
it's leveraging the definitions from the
Yes,
registry.
exactly. It's looking in the overall one, and since the registries are in a different spot,
Got it. Okay. I'm fine leaving that in there because we do, if you're pointing to like DMTF standard message registries, we do have a hardened place for those, so that's fine.
I still need more time. I can go look at the
hold,
issues that we have.
hold on a second.
Okay, we have
Oh
two
yeah,
issues
yeah.
to
Go
deal with.
ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Do other issues. Yeah.
Okay, so the two issues, one is actually against both the hardware baseline and the redfish baseline. So I'll go with that first.
And I think we've talked about these before, but we need to solve them.
I think, yeah, that's still open. Okay, so I just
Oh,
picked.
what was that last comment? Can we have this change be profiles? Yeah, I assume baseline hardware management 1.1 and is not in the root of the directory.
Correct.
Okay, so we can still make changes there. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. And that's the one I want run in the interop lab. Okay.
And then the other one, I think.
So here, I think he made a suggestion on whether this will handle the situation. You need to look at the issue again.
We add yours. So no, that URI pattern will not solve it because they have it. So if you scroll up, the issue here. Okay, well, I mean, we can make that change to use URI patterns instead of the subordinate to resource. Oh, actually, this is based on. No, so the issue here is even that URI pattern does not solve the issue for them because if I remember correctly, we make hostname mandatory for writing on every Ethernet interface for a manager. And the issue they have is that there's at least one interface, and it's the host interface for the system that is not writable. And I think they have other properties in that same USB virtual NIC that goes to their host system is they're not modifiable through Redfish. And I think the issue we have is that we need to somehow isolate those internal logical NICs from external facing NICs on the manager. And I don't think we found a way to do that yet with the existing model. So if you scroll down, John.
Yeah, that was the issue. There was no differentiation within that.
Oh yeah. I guess we talked about using supported, which means it needs to be modifiable on at least one instance.
Right. Yeah, I think we can fix this in the profile, but it won't. There's probably still a data model issue that maybe needs to be dealt with.
Yeah, and that way we can be much more concise in our testing to make sure that the correct nicks on the manager are modifiable, not just any nick.
Yeah.
Um, using the URI pattern doesn't fix it, so we have to say supported because that means at least one instance has it writable, and we hope that that one instance is the external interface that is, you hope an end user can configure based on their network topology.
Okay, so this shouldn't be a question mark. This should be a use. We should remove the question mark and try to alter the profile to
Yeah,
use.
we can start with that, but I still think that Jeff is right in that we may need to consider proposing model changes to help determine which Ethernet interfaces are external facing versus some internal logical NIC that is static on a service. So that way we can improve the requirements in the profile and have appropriate testing based on the discovery of that property. I would say the URI won't work because other NICs on the manager also need to be tested.
Does the host interface show up as a NIC?
Yes,
Oh,
because it is a NIC. I know
right. Yeah.
I
It's
know
just as soon
I
as
know
you said that, I went,
Yeah, we do have a host interface resource that will point to the Ethernet interface. That is the host NIC. I suppose if we were to ever do a non-network interface, we can grow that
Mhm.
host interface resource, but that's TBD if we'll go that way or not.
Okay, so since the last sentence is correct, we're gonna go.
Yeah, we'll have to do supported until we think of a way to, if we really need to add new breadcrumbs in the model itself. Or add cross-resource referencing within the profile, which I know Jeff will love.
Okay,
And Jeff's not on mute, and he's not screaming.
I was on triple.
okay. Done. Jeff, back to you.
all right, check it out. Should be everything done. You probably just go to the commits, go to the third commit. Address comments. Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
do
Yeah.
Nick. Wow. Oh, that's weird that it's showing up like that. Oh, this is OCP Nick profile.md. Don't look at it.
No,
Just hit
oh,
that
that's not.
left hand arrow.
Yeah,
It'll go away.
look at the JSON file.
There you go. All right. So I moved that one inside. Scroll down. I moved the next one inside. I moved the next one inside. And I got rid of all the min versions.
Oh, so you moved it and add it back in. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it.
I moved it down. That's didn't mean to. So that's it.
Okay. With that, any issues or do we want time to review? Can we go ahead?
First time I've ever had to do the signing thing
Ah, yeah.
in order
Yeah.
to get the, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Harry had no idea what that was. He was trying to get that. It won't pass my stuff. Oh, can you fix it? All right. We're just done. Oh. Okay. So I think we're done with the issues and we're done with pull requests. That brings me to the end of my agenda. So thanks, guys. It's been a very productive meeting. I think we're done. Bye, guys. Say
Great,
bye.
thanks.
Hey, thanks, Tom.
All right, so I got questions because I just ran it through Jason Lynn. And I think I found some holes in the interop validator, or rather the profile. So this first one is should not be null. And what I've got, I don't know another way to express, is I want property health to not equal null. Should be Boolean number or string. That's never going to validate. In which case, do we need something that says null requirement? Never. Yes. Oh, actually, I don't know that. Where the heck is health? Yeah. So we should not have done that. So we need a way to fix this. Or Yes, yeah, I can run the profile, and if the guy says it's null, I'm catching an errant implementation. Which is fine. If I do catch it in testing, I need to slap the developer, which is really what this profile is about. Yeah. I know how to do that. All right. The next error, fucking Axis. I got to be on the Axis beta. So this, Atmos. This Atmos thing wants you to connect VPN every day. You got to redo it every fucking day. All right. Mm-hmm. Fine. Do 6. I signed into the freaking system. Now, if my networking changes, my IP address changes, yeah, make me revalidate. But otherwise, no. All right. Should not have additional properties. Settings. That's property requirements. Because this is the one we just verified is good. I don't know what I did there. Okay. I need that, huh? It found all four of them. So I need to do another error on at redfish settings doesn't, well, we don't know that yet. I will work on stripping this thing out one at a time and it could be something else. Oh, PCI function, I must have messed up. Requirement. Oh, I don't have property requirements in health. So I need one here. Oh, okay. Links, read requirement, property requirements, read requirement, property requirement. I'm gonna just have to strip it out one by one because they're all the same like this. Mm-hmm. Well, I've been validating it mostly because that way I paste it back in, right? Yeah. All right, it's got the null. I'm just going to have to figure out network adapter. Wow. I've only got one block. Redfish settings is still in there. I just got rid of everything else. Yeah, it would leave me there though. Look at that shit. Look at that shit, man. All right, I'm gonna go back, do the whole thing again. All right, I get the null. So let's go up to and get rid of that and that. Get rid of that and that. And get rid of that and that. Status, health, but now it's down in the other one. It's because the status and health is throwing it off. When I remove, see now it goes down, network adapter's fine. Now it goes to network device function. It literally only is that. Okay, cool. All right, I'm done. Yeah, once we get that one fixed, we're good. Cool, thanks for your time. All right, bye. Yeah, I ignored it. Maybe I shouldn't have. It's Ask Redfish. I'm looking. There it is. All right, there it is. No, no, it doesn't. It's just on session creation. Well, this is just for TLS. So it works the way TLS does. Right. Boy, you got me there. What do you mean someone? I'm not sure what you would put in and where it would go. Well, you can read sessions. It could be in there. Oh, that's right. You can only post. Mhm. Well, an MFA just happens, right? I mean, it's like you get a request on your MFA device. Doing it, yeah, just do it. That's what I do with my bank. And if I didn't know MFA was there, I'm an idiot. And if I did, I was expecting it. And, and how do you tell the difference between a threat and a non-threat? So oh no, I put it all in there already. Sorry. Do you use ready for review for issues or discussion required? I think it's on the account. Yeah, I'm looking for multi-factor authentication required. That's just a service, right? Mhm. Yeah, client cert. So you got multi-factor auth in there, and then client cert, and then client certificate mapping attribute, which is which one in there, and then you got a certificates collection. And so that's the CA certs used to validate the client certs. Then you got Google and Microsoft. Oh, right. That's just part of TLS. Yeah, I am. All right. What was the question? Then you go through the cert chain and you validate it against the root. So no. Mhm. Right. But it's got a mapping attribute that says, well, use this one for the account. And then this is the permissions they have. And so there's a mapping attribute in there. I think they're just looking for, is MFA even on? But why would you do that? I don't think I want to put that. What good would it do? So let's see what Blake comes back with. Mhm. Yep. I don't see how it adds value. I see how it decreases security. I don't. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't get that in when I go and log on. It's like, okay, now give me your MFA. uh uh Hurry up and send it to me. Send me my text message. My favorite one is email. We don't do text message. Great. And you have 5 minutes. Great. My email server won't give it to me within 10. You're not helpful. Oh, wow. Yeah. Oh, boy. What's the point of being in a credit union? Minimum balance.